Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, Mom. This is it, sister.
Here we are.
Here the fuck we are. Episode 1
Woohoo!
of our first podcast. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
This is officially our first podcast, first episode of A Gay and His Mom. I am Michael, the homosexual, the gay.
And I'm Jerry, the mom, not the gay.
Yes, queen. Yes, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in to our very first episode. We're so excited to start this little journey of A Gay and His Mom. Let's break it down for them, Mom. How would you describe this podcast? What can they expect?
A lot of wild stories, that's for sure.
Yes.
Some tidbits of facts here and there. Maybe learn a few things. I think you're gonna shock the shit right out of me.
Yeah. Just a bit.
Yeah, you have no trouble doing that.
Living my truth, girl.
Oh yeah, that's the only way to live though.
Exactly.
Right? If you can't be true to yourself.
So our slogan is educational, unfiltered, and fabulous.
Fabulous.
So educational in a sense of, are we going to be teaching you mathematics? No. And we're going to talk about
I'm not good at math.
stuff
Could you
that
imagine?
you would serve academically qualified. I don't even know if that's a sentence, but
No, then.
basically when we talk about educating you, I'll be educating you on what happens on Grindr, how to give a blowjob.
Okay. I could
just
probably
kidding.
help with that.
I'm just saying there's definitely something you're going to learn from this podcast. Therefore, that is educational. Unfiltered. We are unfiltered. We say what we say. Our opinion is our opinion. Our experience is our experience.
You can't change that. You can't go back. You can only go forward, honey.
Oh my God. Come on, motivational speaker. And last but not least, fabulous, because I'm gay as fuck and my mom is literally a queen. So we're just fabulous. Together we're the dynamic duo that is A Gay and His Mom. And yes, bitch, let's go.
Woo!
Okay, so now, Mother dear, what are we talking about today?
Well, I want to touch on all the pronouns.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
because
LGBTQAI2S,
and there's
AA plus.
Yeah,
and many more.
Forgive us if we don't touch on all of them because there is a lot.
Well, that's why they have
to
the
cover.
plus. Okay, so let's break it down, okay?
Okay.
So LGBTQ, that's what everyone knows it as, but it's much more than that, but that's okay. Let's start with the base. Okay, so L. What's L stand for?
Lesbian.
What's a lesbian?
A female who's attracted, you're going to quiz me here. A female who's attracted to other females.
Correct. What is a gay?
A gay is somebody who's attracted to the same sex.
Wrong. It's a guy who sucks dick.
Huh?
I'm just kidding. Yes, okay, gotta be serious. Gay, a guy who's into another guy. Bisexual, a horny motherfucker. I'm just kidding.
Likes anything.
Likes anything. Okay, this is somewhat offensive already. Okay, bisexual, someone who likes both men and women.
Yes.
Transgender.
Someone who is born one sex and physically goes through a transformation to allow them to be another sex.
Yes, so essentially, transgender, people get a little bit confused about this, which I can kind of sense. But basically, transgender is your sex doesn't match the gender. So basically, what you're born with, sexual, reproductive parts or whatnot, your actual, medical what you're assigned medically at birth doesn't match how you feel on the inside, doesn't match your gender, what your brain and what your heart tells you are.
So it doesn't
so you may
necessarily
have a penis, but when you look in the mirror, you're expecting to see a woman's body, but you see a man's body because literally your brain is a woman's brain.
your inside, what you feel is a woman's body, but when you look, you see a man.
Yes, you're born in the wrong body.
Okay, so but where does the reassignment come in?
Well, sexual reassignment surgery?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a choice for people. I know plenty of trans women who their penis does not define them, right?
Okay.
You're so much more than just a piece of skin that's on your body, right? But people, associate that so much, if you still have a penis, you aren't fully a woman, right?
Okay.
So that's where...
Isn't it how you live your inner truth?
Well, no, it's so much... People get murdered for it, right? Because it's it's so much more than that, right? Like, I wish it was just live your inner truth and that's that easy, but it's not. You know, there's passing privilege, which transgender is a whole topic which we can unpack.
Maybe we could do a whole episode on that down the road.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Because it's a very deep and deeply rooted term that goes very far. But essentially, yes, it is what you are assigned medically at birth does not match the gender that you feel inside.
Okay, got that.
Okay?
Yep.
Queer for the Q.
I think it's an umbrella. Not like
What the fuck?
I think the term is like
It's an
an umbrella
term.
for over.
I
It's raining.
identify
I need
as
my queer today. No,
my
that's
God.
not what I mean. I'm not that stupid. Come on. Anyways,
Yeah, queer is it's like basically a general term, but it just means like not the normal. Like, so it's not like the majority. It's not heterosexual. It's just like not the majority, essentially.
Okay.
Like queer, like whether you're gay or whatever it is, it's like, and queer, it's funny because queer used to be an offensive term. It used to be a slur, kind of similar to the word faggot. But the queer community and I guess queer people have reclaimed it as something positive.
yeah, because I've heard you say queer, so that's why I was thinking, okay, under the umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just learned that it was kind of a broad term for like different, and I liked that. Because
I
then
like
it's
that
like no
too.
matter what, I'm not going to assume someone's pronoun or how they identify, so it's just easy for me to say queer. But then there's some people who don't associate to queer, but I would associate them to queer. So it's all confusing. It's everyone's own personal
Preference as to, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, questioning. I think questioning
Yeah. Questioning
is what it is.
Yeah, whether it's like sexual labels, like or like questioning is either it's a few different things. So it's basically you're unsure about where you fit in society's normalizing of labels. So whether it's like sexual orientation, gender, sexual preference, just because it's questioning doesn't mean you're questioning whether you're gay or not. It could be if you're like not sure if you're trans, or not sure if you like everyone, or not sure if you don't like anyone at all, if you're not sexual at all, if you like, you know, if you may be gay, if you may be bisexual.
Okay, because
right?
I was just going to ask you, does everybody, before they identify as to what their preference is or what they identify as, does everybody go through the questioning stage is my question.
Essentially, I guess, because you're going to be questioning whether you're like one of those gays who's like, oh, I knew I was gay when I was 4 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm sure there was a period where you weren't sure, or like because it's so difficult because you see the normal. I mean, it's changing a bit now, but normal in media and social media is like girl and guy relationship, right? So as a young boy, when you're like, oh, I like men, and then you see all around that that's not normal, then you might question what's wrong with me or why am I like this. There's like that period, whether it's young or when you're older and, you know, you're questioning what you like, or you're questioning about what your feelings are, or questioning.
And I guess like as you get older, you can still like you decide down the road, would you be questioning if, say, I divorced my husband, your dad, and I decided, I don't think I'd like to venture out and I'd like to go and I'd like to maybe, who knows, I might fall in love with a woman.
Yeah.
Would I like that? Would that be me questioning?
Yeah, because it's like you're questioning like what it is.
Okay,
right?
so.
Yeah. And I think, I think everyone goes through that, and whether you're like heterosexual or not, because I know plenty of people, like the word bi-curious comes up, especially on Grindr, like the app. Because it's like you're bisexual, but you're curious. So it's also a way of like questioning. It's like it's a way to bridge the gap between being closeted and coming out, because it's like, oh, well, I'm straight, but I'm just curious, or like I'm just, it's like the questioning phase.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
I wonder. Okay, drinking game. However many times I just said questioning. Take a shot for each time.
I'm gonna be wasted.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah. Intersex.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you what I think it is?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because this to me before was quite confusing. So it is, I think, when somebody is born with two different genitalia.
Okay, so like
Like,
boobs
say
and a
you had
penis.
boobs and a penis.
Okay. Yeah, I just Googled it because I'm honestly unsure too. So, intersex is a general term used for a variety of situations in which a person is born with reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't fit the boxes of, in quotes, female or male. Sometimes doctors do surgeries on intersex babies and children to make their bodies fit binary ideals of male or female. Okay, so that makes sense. So, if they're born with basically two different genitalia.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Learn something new every day.
Absolutely.
So, intersex P.
P.
Pansexual.
I think that's you, like, there's no interest in sex, but I think.
No, you're getting it mixed up with asexual. So, pansexual is you fall in love with whoever you fall in love with. Doesn't matter if they are a man, a woman, whether they look like it, whether they look like.
Love is love.
Yep, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yes. It's
I
also
like that one.
Yeah, it's also to like other who are like non-gender conforming or they're gender fluid, so you don't necessarily know like if they identify more with a masculine or feminine energy, you just like fall in love with that person.
Okay, got ya.
Because there's very like neutral ways of going about it that kind of stray from the typical, norms that society has set for us. Like the pink is girly and fruity and blue is masculine and construction, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's got to go.
Yeah, well,
That's
I think it's
absolutely.
slowly straying away.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Okay, 2S. This is a really interesting one.
2S?
Yeah. Two-spirit,
Oh, okay.
which is...
That falls amongst the indigenous.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. I think I have a note on this because I wanted to make sure I got it right. So, yeah, two-spirit, it's a general term typically utilized by indigenous populations to denote someone who embodies aspects of both, traditional male or female genders. So they have two spirits within them. So, again, it's kind of morphed into one.
Okay, got ya.
Okay, asexual, we kind of touched on this a bit. Someone who's just, doesn't really feel the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have very zero to, or like little to zero sexual drive or sexual attraction to anyone.
But
of any gender.
What about
regardless.
themselves? Like, do they pleasure themselves? Like,
I think so,
everybody
yeah.
needs to.
My friend personally, I have a really close friend of mine who's asexual, and I know for a fact that he rides his rose quartz dildo every fucking night, girl. So. Your face. I just realized you know exactly what I was talking about. But yes, so even though he's
and
asexual.
I got one of those from him, so I
Stop.
don't
No,
even
you
want.
didn't.
No, a stone.
Oh my
a
god! I
rose
thought you got a
quartz.
rose quartz dildo.
Well, what if I did? None of your beeswax.
Ew, oh my god. Okay, yeah. So basically, the point of that story was that my friend is asexual,
Yes.
and they may not want to fuck other people, but they definitely like to pleasure themselves.
Okay.
With or without a rose quartz dildo.
Okay.
Okay. Allies.
Um,
Allies, plural. Just people who are like allies of the LGBTQAI plus.
that's
community.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Somebody who stands up and represents or.
Yeah, they're allies.
They support.
Yeah, which
Got
I
ya.
honestly believe everyone should be an ally. But
So do I.
plus, which is a term that kind of incorporates anything that's not included in that. Genderqueer, bigender, gender variant, pangender, like different things that fall into that plus category.
That all falls under the plus?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I learned something.
And then I wanted to ask you, do you know what cisgender means?
I think it's, well, as far as I know, it's what you identify as you were born. So you were born with a penis and testicles. Mm-hmm. You identify as a male.
Yes.
Okay, so you would say you're male cis.
Yes.
You're male cisgender?
I think I would be homosexual cisgender.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you remember this, but I used to be like, I fucking hate white cis men. And then someone's like,
I do.
You are a white cis man. And
Well,
I
you
was
got
like,
put in your place.
well, I was like, what? Because I thought it was basically if I was born a man and I didn't like women, basically homosexual, but I still identify with, like, I have a penis, I'm supposed to be a man, I identify as a man, but I don't like women. I was like, hey, that means I'm not cis. But cis literally just means, and I have it here, people have a notes, an individual whose biological sex at birth corresponds with their gender identity.
Okay.
So it's literally, I am cisgender.
Okay.
Which is so interesting to me. It kind of fucked me up, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So those are all our letters, and I think that we covered those. Now I have something to ask you, because I'm lacking a little bit of knowledge. But the pronoun thing.
Yeah, this was something I wanted to just to make sure. I mean, anyone listening too, they may feel uncomfortable sometimes, especially in a territory such as the LGBTQAI+. That is a very broad community. There's a lot of questions, and I feel like sometimes people feel it's a taboo topic. And there's a lot of taboo topics that are packed in that topic of discussion, and I just want people to know that first of all, this is a learning experience for my mom and for myself too. As we have notes in front of us, we are going to try to be as articulate as we can be, but we may say some things. We're learning, as we said. So as you touched on,
I'm sure we'll get corrected if we're wrong.
Yeah, right? Which is okay. It's a learning experience. There's no need to be nasty, right? Like, as long as you're doing your part and trying and learning, that's what's important, I think.
And I do want to learn, because there is so much out there that I don't know. Like, even with this.
Yeah, for sure.
The pronouns. How do I know what to address somebody as?
Exactly. And I think that's, like, super important, because especially in university, I went to a quite, would you say, like, liberal university?
Yes.
And in the sense of people are very open, very on the spectrum of sexuality, identity, everything, okay? It's a very, my program specifically was very artsy, and what we would do is, beginning of semesters, we would sit down, and everyone would say what their preferred pronoun was. So mine would be his, him.
He.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens if, say Sally over here identifies as they.
So then their pronoun is they, and that means that they specifically don't identify as he or she.
What happens if I slip up and say, Sally, she was there the other day?
Well, it's your job, once they make that clear, if it's easier for you to make sure that you are, trying your best, and Sally knows that.
Yeah,
because
I don't want to insult.
Well, this is the thing, right? So if a person makes it clear to you that they identify as they, them, and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not used to this, like, that's on you. You're the one who's going to look like the idiot. So if you're not sure, I think it's always safe to say the name of the person. So Sally went to the store, not she went to the store. That way you save your ass, okay? Mm-hmm. Sally feels respected. And then the other thing is just to always say they, them. And if someone says, hey, actually, my pronoun is she, I'd prefer if you called me she,
referred to me as her.
Yeah, addressed me as she. Yeah, then you'll go from there. But I feel like it's always safer to use either the preferred name or the name that they have, or they, them. Okay. Always saves you. And I learned that in great way. That was a great advice that I got, because it's overwhelming. And again, there's like this whole policing now that goes on, especially with this queer community, is you never know what you're going to say to offend someone. You don't want to offend anyone.
I never want to offend, especially,
Right, but unfortunately, it's like they deal with a lot. So if someone is going to say to you, hey, this is my pronoun, you should really try your hardest to respect it, and
focus on that. Yeah. And don't fuck it up.
Just don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up.
Oh my God, come on, RuPaul.
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really good to know.
Yeah, good advice, eh?
Mm-hmm. Now, do you know anybody that identifies with any of these terms? Do you have friends?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I know one, but...
Yeah. So we know my good friend with the rose quartz dildo. Asexual.
Okay. When I see that person, yeah.
So funny. Lesbians. Yeah, I have tons of lesbian friends. Gay, obviously, I love the gays. Bisexual, love bisexuals. Lots of bisexual friends. Honestly, most of my friends are either bisexual or gay.
Okay.
like a lot of the time. And if I'm friends with a heterosexual guy, give me like literally an hour and he'll be bisexual. You know what I mean?
Mike.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't mean that in like a predatorial way. I just mean like I got it, you know? I just got that little shtick about me, you know?
A little lack of self-esteem there.
Yeah, pansexual, pretty much everything. I'm not familiar with intersex. I've never met someone who identifies as intersex or who is born intersex. So yes, to answer your question, I pretty much know, I have plenty of friends who are in the queer community, whether it be asexual, pansexual, allies, questioning, bisexual, gays, trans women, trans men. Actually, I went to university with a trans female to male.
Okay. Yep.
Man.
I think I met them.
Yeah, he was so hot. Oh my God, so hot. Okay. So.
But listen, I remember a time too, you were questioning. And
Yeah.
you about your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think at the time, I know now that I just don't really fit a mold, but I don't feel comfortable enough yet in my life being like, oh, I'm, pansexual, or I'm like gender fluid, because I like who I am now. I like who I've become, and I like it too much to like.
I'm really glad to hear that, though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm really glad, Mike.
But it's weird. It's like I have nothing against the thought of maybe in the future kind of going towards that thought, but I don't know. Like I'm happy with who I am now.
And where are you at?
Yeah, that I don't feel like kind of exploring other realms. You know what I mean? So yeah, but there was a point, especially in university, first year university, I started really experimenting with my looks more, and I was just so obsessed with like female clothing and wearing wigs, and I've always had this.
Loved it.
I've always been on the quote unquote feminine side, okay? Like growing up, I was always, my hobbies were always like in the more female area or spectrum. Like, I would choose Barbies. I would sing motherfucking Lizzie McGuire. What's that song? Hey now, hey now. I would, every single time I put on Black Eyed Peas, I was Fergie. Wasn't even a question of who I was. Anytime. I was always, I just wanted to be a girl. I was obsessed with Spice Girls, everything. So, as you grow up a boy, whether it be your father or other male influences in your life or the world or society as a whole, like, it kind of forces you into this box of, like, I shouldn't like female stuff or girly things, and it's not good, and, boys should like blue and cars and yada, yada, yada.
Right. So you never fit that.
I never fit that mold.
No.
And I remember I used to go, used to be like so ingrained in me that I used to wear my hair, when you like twist the towel and you put it up like after a shower? Yeah. I used to wear my hair like that because I would pretend like it was a ponytail.
I think I have a picture of you with that on your head.
Yeah.
And you have like an NYC shirt on, and you were actually like walking the runway at like 3.
Oh my God, I know.
I have to find that.
There's a picture of me in your high heels too.
Oh yeah, with your little short overalls on. I think you were only about probably 18 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yay. So that was always embedded in me. I loved girly stuff. I had an older sister. She was literally my idol at the time. I was always a mama's boy. Yeah, so when I was in university, I had all these, like, my mind was blown with, like, my best friend who I had met that year. She just, like, I was so infatuated with her and her presence, and I thought she was so beautiful, and her fashion and everything, that I was just so drawn towards it, that I was like, hey, like, maybe I've been, pushing myself in this direction that it's not true to who I am. Like, maybe I actually want to be a woman, and I am a girl, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
She really helped you, though.
Yeah, she did.
She really helped you a lot.
Yeah, but in the end, I think it was like, just because I like dressing up as a girl, or I like wearing high heels, which I actually strayed away from now. I'm not really into that anymore, but it was I think it was more stemmed from clothing and fashion and like Instagram that I just wanted to be like that kind of fabulous character, rather than it being specifically female, you know, like I am a female, which I don't identify with as anymore as much, you know. I definitely have female qualities and I have a bit of men and woman inside me, but I don't think it's not transgender stemming.
Got you.
In a sense, like I wasn't born in the wrong body.
How'd you, like, what about realizing you were gay? How'd you, like, what defined that moment that you went, oh, I think I'm gay? Like, when did you realize that?
Well, I didn't really have, like, that moment of enlightenment until I literally had a big old fat dick in my mouth.
Oh, me too. That's when I realized I wasn't gay.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Okay, but yeah, let's get into Michael's coming out story.
Oh, I do want to hear this.
Okay. So I pretty much already touched on when I was younger and how I was attracted to girly things, quote unquote. So like I chose pink over blue, Barbies over cars, and yada yada. I also don't want to associate every little gay boy and fall into that stereotype of like the gay boy who likes Barbies, but that literally was me. So
you can't run from that.
It just was me, girl. Did you guys like ever think our son's gay, or like Mike is?
Yeah, a few times, but then it was honestly. You know, you always had girlfriends.
Right, but this is like when I was younger, though. Like, did you ever see that? Because I've seen little children in the way they act sometimes, and in my head, I know it's horrible, but I'm like, that kid is gay.
Yeah, I think I did. I'll be honest.
Like, what were the conversations? I'm so curious. Like, what were the conversations you and Dad had? Like, did Dad ever be like, "Fuck, I don't want a gay son"? Like, I want to know. He must have.
I don't think he ever said that. I think it was more like a, I don't know, actually. Maybe, because...
I feel like he definitely did. Like, my dad is so not homophobic now, but definitely, back in the day was not socially acceptable as it is today. I'm not saying it fully is, but my dad, like, I could totally see him being like, oh, fuck, I don't want a goddamn gay son.
I think maybe it was like, no, he can't be gay. No, you know?
And I'm there, like, brushing Barbie's hair.
Yeah, kind of. Like, at the end of the table.
Fuck.
Look at him. He's not gay.
And then I'm there, like, what's
absolutely not gay. Look at him brushing Barbie's hair down there.
Oh, my
Can't
God.
be.
I remember that fucking kid from School of Rock, the Liza Minnelli kid. I was so that kid. Oh my God. But you're tacky and I hate you.
But to get back to that, I think when you were younger, a lot younger, we used to go, oh my God, like he just seems so fixated on certain things. Like, what if he's gay?
Yeah. Did you like prepare for it or?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's just, I find it so interesting. Like, I just wonder, like, I'm like, the kind of shit you talked about me when I was, like, 4.
Only behind closed doors.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, okay, so I was very soft-spoken, very feminine, one would say.
Gentle.
Sure, gentle. And, yeah, so all throughout my childhood, I would always get, no matter, I was skiing at school, middle school, like gymnastics, I would always get, are you gay? Are you a girl or a boy? And it would just rub me the wrong way all the time. And I had an older brother, I have 2 older brothers, but the one of them's closer in age to me, so we would be like, when we were at the same school together, or we would ski together in the same program. So he would kind of defend me, I think, behind the scenes, which kind of kept me a bit safer. I know some people had horrible experiences, and I feel like mine would have been worse if I didn't have my older brother.
I'm going to cut you off right there because I remember, as we're talking about this right now, I remember skiing and there was a kid there that used to torment you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he was horrible to you.
He was so mean. Yeah. He would make fun of me. He would call me gay, like, openly, because we had this lounge when we went skiing. There was like this big open lounge for different people of different programs, and we were in the freestyle program, where we would freestyle ski and do, like, all the tricks off the jumps and stuff. And this one kid would always call me out and just, like, feel the need to, like, publicly humiliate me and be like, you're gay or this or that, and make
He was an asshole.
homophobic comments. And guess what, bitches? He's motherfucking gay. I saw him in the gay village one time, and I just
Did you go,
shit my
"Hey!"
pants. No. I was like, oh my fucking God, like, fuck you.
How's the dick going?
Oh my God. Yeah, he was a rat.
Yeah, I didn't like that kid.
Which is so crazy, because I'm gonna elaborate on this story. But when I went to this art camp, I remember there was this younger boy who was very clearly gay, and I would like, I wouldn't bully him, okay, because I wasn't like a bully, but I would make little comments, or I remember feeling so like, oh my God, that kid's gay, like that's so weird, or like I would make him feel weird, I think, openly about it, or like just being feminine, which I think he was too young. He must have been like 10 at the time to know he was gay, but he was just very feminine, and I would like make fun of him for it, and which is so fucked up, because that's such a
That's
so
what everybody
horrible.
did to you.
I know, but that's exactly what people did to me.
So back to this guy. Do you think he was tormenting you because he knew he was gay the whole time?
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Ah.
Which is, I'm not excusing it at all, which is horrible. I look back now and it disgusts me, because I was that little boy people would say that to, and it would devastate me, you know?
Right.
And I, on the flip side, like I did the same thing to this younger kid, which is so horrible. But, yeah, so let me talk about this camp more, this arts camp. So, I was in the acting industry when I was younger. Yes, bitch, I was a motherfucking movie star, okay?
Okay, yep.
This camp was...
Look at all the trophies.
Yes, girl. Okay, so art camp. It was full of very artsy, quirky, let's say, children. For example, one guy stood in the middle of the literal fucking hurricane. There was like an actual warning, provincial warning, shutdown with this fucking hurricane. And this kid takes a fucking stick, a staff, he called it, his magical staff, and stood on top of a boulder and was screaming at the winds. And he was controlling the motherfucking weather, and he demanded to be called Gandalf. So yes, super artsy. We all know in the arts there are a lot of homosexuals. Just a fact. Just a fact. So yeah, I go to this camp, and I see this gay guy who's in the bunks, like in the dorm area that I was in, and he was very gay, like stereotypical bent wrist, strutting the fucking house down boots. So yes, this guy was gay. Very, very unapologetically gay. Very proud. Yes, bitch. Okay? Gay. So I made fun of how feminine he was. And now, like I said, I look back, it was definitely my way of being, I was jealous, right? I was like, I want to be like him.
You want to have the confidence to walk around.
Yeah. I was like, how can he be like that and be so confident? Like, doesn't he know it's wrong to be gay? Like, doesn't he know? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And when I feel like when humans are confused, they get aggressive and they get like
nasty,
angry, and they lash out, right? When they're unfamiliar with something. So that was me. Keep in mind, I was not like openly mean, because that camp would have not tolerated by any means.
They would have booted you home.
I think it was a lot more internal than I thought. But I just remember like even staying away from him or feeling uncomfortable if he was near me. Like I just didn't want anything to do with him, but I was very intrigued. So weird to think about now.
Why do you think that is? Like why?
I think because I deep down knew, but it's weird because I really did not deep down know. I questioned if I was gay or not, or like I questioned like being attracted to other men at this point, because this is right when like puberty would have been setting in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I knew, like, that, like, gay was bad. Like, that's, like, the one thing, right? It's like, you can't be gay. Like, don't be gay. Especially when everyone around you is like, he's gay, and it's, like, a negative thing. It's, like, you basically are forcing yourself, like, you cannot be gay. Like, don't let them win, right? Mm-hmm, essentially.
Absolutely.
I would, like, lower my voice. I would sit differently when I was around the boys. You know what I mean? Like, I would just I would play this part that was so not me. And I think I started to realize when I went to this arts camp that, like, it was okay to be me, and it was okay to, like, release that a bit. And I saw that possibility of being my true self through that guy. Like, he was basically living the truth that I wanted to live subconsciously.
Okay.
So, yeah. So then basically I go to the camp for 2 weeks, and I had, like, probably 2 interactions with him total.
That's it?
Yeah, like I said, I just stayed away. I don't know why. Anyways, so the years go by. I go to high school, and I keep getting asked if I'm gay. It kind of follows me everywhere I go. I never got, like, fully bullied because of, like I said, my older brother. But I had a few shares of dicks in high school. Wait. Okay, not cocks. I mean, like, assholes.
Oh, okay. Cocks
Okay,
and assholes.
mean guys. Like,
Says the gay guy.
mean cocks and assholes.
Cocks and assholes, guys. Not dicks, though.
Oh, my God. Okay, mean guys. I had my fair share of mean guys, homophobic, whatever.
Okay.
I was dating a girl in high school, and I remember her telling me that people would make fun of her for dating a gay guy, or, like, you turned him gay and stuff like that.
Seriously?
Isn't that so fucked up?
That
Anyways.
is.
So grade 10 comes, and my parents and I decide it's probably best if I move to this art school in the big city, because they understood the acting industry better, and missing class for filming was more acceptable there. And they just got the industry more. Like, there was on-set tutors, and I just wasn't getting shit on like I was.
Oh, gosh. You were every other time you had to go
Yeah.
for an audition. It was something. And then I think they were going to start to dock you. So it was like, this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit.
Yeah. So I had heard about this art school from, like, I think even my agent talked about it, and people in the industry talked about it. And then
I think that was the first question people would ask you. You're an actor. Oh, do you go to the art
exactly.
school?
And I remember when I was at arts camp, people would talk about the school because it was right around applying for high school and stuff like that. And this girl who I was actually really close with at camp, she ended up going there, which I didn't know at the time. So basically my parents look into it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to apply. So I applied to go for grade 11, which was really rare because they usually only accepted people into grade 9 because you follow, like, a certain curriculum and, like, you build up over the years as you go. But I think because I had certain experience in the industry and yada yada, I ended up getting in grade 11. So I had added this guy. I don't know when I added him, but I just remember I, like, went, like, fully out of my way to find him, this really gay guy from camp that I was talking about.
Okay, yeah.
The one that made me uncomfortable. And then I found out that he actually went to the art school that I was going to be transferring to. So I added him.
Were you hoping that you could probably slide in and say, hey, listen, like, I'm coming to your school?
Well, yes.
Oh, okay.
I think subconsciously I wanted to just, like, have a reason to talk to him, and then I used that as a way. And then this was during the summer before I transferred. Mm-hmm. So I would talk to him so much. Like, it started off as just random conversation, and then we would, like, talk on Facebook so much, like, every single day, messaging constantly. Then I became texting all the time. Then I was phone calls. I used to talk to him, like, literally every night.
Really?
So much. And when I talked to him, I remember, like, once I would be done on the phone call, I would have to start to lower my voice again, because when I was on the phone call with him, I was just talking normally.
You were you.
Yeah, I was just essentially being myself. Mm-hmm. So yeah, anyway, so then summer ends, I end up going to this art school, and I know, like, 1.5 people there. And I'm still in the closet. I'm fully lowering my voice around people. I'm turned off by the gays. I'm still talking about people, like, behind their back. When I went home, I would be like, how weird the school is and how weird the people are. And, like, oh my God, they dress so weird, because I don't know why I was trying to play this role of, like, art school, like, I'm too straight for it. You know what I mean? And
Because you weren't out by then.
No, I wasn't out. Like,
No, you
I wore
weren't.
fucking brown Sperry's, blue jeans, and flannel to school every day, and I fucking was confident as hell. Like, disgusting.
Disgusting.
So, yeah, so slowly over the time, this friendship with this guy progressed, and it got more and more, and then finally we're like, hey, we should hang out. So, like the legit psychopathic gay I am, I lied to my parents and told them I had play practice after school.
Oh, great.
And I had plans to go hang out with this guy, so...
Stop. Is this the first of many lies that I'm going to hear about?
Yes, queen.
All right.
Okay.
Onward.
So, then he's like, okay, I live really north. We have to take a few buses. I'm like, okay, great, perfect, love that. So then we get on the bus, and my ass sits the most opposite seat away from him, because I was really embarrassed to be associated to him, seen with him, because he was really gay. Okay. Again, I understand the pattern here. He's very fucked up and toxic.
Okay.
But it was just my inner homophobia, okay? So I'm on the bus. We get off, transfer to the new one. This whole time I'm staying, like, 20 feet apart from him. Then finally we get off, we walk to his house, and we go into his room and start to hang out. Mm-hmm. So then slowly but surely we start kissing. And I remember my mind like exploding with like, oh my god, like excite, like it was just a feeling you can't explain. I guess now I would explain it as like being aroused sexually.
Yeah, absolutely.
But my heart was pounding. I was like sweating. I was like, oh my god. And I also had this other voice in my head screaming like, this is wrong, this is bad, blah blah blah. And next thing you know, I'm unzipping his pants, and I am starting to give him a blowjob.
Okay.
And then yeah.
Is that when you discovered?
So this truly was when I knew. People always say, like you said, what was the moment you knew you were gay? Like, what is the exact moment? And my answer is, my exact moment I knew I was gay was when there was a big old dick in my mouth. And that's when I was like, yes, bitch, I am gay. This is it. This is my calling.
There's no turning back now.
There was no turning back. And rest assured, I did not turn back.
No, you didn't.
I've been going full force ever since, honey. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I knew I was gay, Mom, by sucking dick.
Uh-huh. That's how I knew I wasn't.
Exactly.
So after you realized, okay, you liked dick, and we got that. Do you remember like coming to us and how that went down?
Yeah, so after that happened, like once I like actually knew in my core and in my vagina that
Your vagine?
that I loved the peen, I think it was easier for me. So I started to begin to explore my own sexuality and how I wanted to express myself, and just everything. It slowly started to turn for me. I started dressing differently, especially at school, because like I said, it was a safe zone for me because everyone was very self-expressive there and creative, so I felt safer. So I was still wearing, I would leave the house in my normal outfit. I would wear my Sperry's and jeans and flannel, and I would get on the train to go to school, and I would literally change into a whole other outfit. I would put on like...
On the train?
Yeah, I would put on like leather pants and like sometimes platform shoes or...
I didn't even know you owned leather pants.
Yes, girl. I got a few pairs. So, yeah, I started like... And then I would paint my nails, and I would do like little hair clips or maybe a little wig moment. And I would get off the train, and I would strap my shit to school, and I would run that shit.
And then you change on the way home.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, full operation.
Holy shit.
Yes. So yeah, like every time I went home, like no one knew I was gay yet, so it was just weird for me. It was like going from this amazing place. That's why sometimes I like to stay after school later, because it was just like...
Yeah, I noticed that, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why? Because I remember you... Honestly, I can go there now, and you were talking about it earlier, that the anger, how people feel when you're closeted, really, you were angry.
Yeah, I was angry, but keep in mind, like, you guys, like, obviously you're super accepting now, but it was just frustrating, like, having to explain or like plead my case, you know what I mean? When I would, wear a certain outfit or act a certain way or just say something or talk about the Kardashians or something, it was just always like just
negative,
uncomfortable. Yeah, I felt just like I couldn't actually be myself, and then anytime I tried to show a little bit of it, it was just like...
Would we shut you down?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, well, it's not.
Yeah, it's a learn thing, right?
Yeah.
We've come a long way, have we?
Yes, you have.
Okay, good.
Yes, you have. But yeah, sorry, I want to finish that. So so one day, I remember this. This is why I had to come out to you guys. So I was successfully changed into my sparkly pants one day on the train. I painted my nails. I had a wig on. Oh no, I didn't have a wig on. I had those fake ponytails that like didn't even match.
Like a clip-in?
Didn't even match the color of my hair. It was like black and my hair was brown.
Nasty.
Yeah, so one day I successfully changed into one of my iconic looks, chunky platform boots from Ardeen, held on by some nail glue,
Duct tape.
fake ponytail, painted nails, short shorts, the whole shebang.
Oh shit! I could just imagine what you look like.
Yeah, and I smoked cigarettes at this time, so I would have my ritual. I would get changed, get off the train, light up a little ciggy, and strut my shit to the bus. So yeah, my gay ass was smoking a cigarette. I'm at the train station, strutting through, and then the parking lot, I see my cousin's boyfriend, and this was like at the time, this guy was probably one of the last people I would ever want to see me like this. He was like your typical straight jock, like for the boys. Like in my head, I was shooketh.
Oh my God.
So his jaw fucking dropped and he got closer.
Did you realize
I was like, oh my God, yeah. And now looking back, the shock, like we've talked about this, him and I, and the reason why they were so shook was because I was smoking a cigarette.
Not the way you looked?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that too, but in my head, it was blown way out of proportion. Like I thought that they thought I was... Like, I thought they were angry at me for looking like that, and, like, they knew I was gay and all this shit. It was just, like, this horrible ordeal.
Right.
When realistically, he's like, okay, buddy, first of all, I knew you were gay, so was not surprised. You were artsy as weird as hell, so I wasn't really surprised by your outfit.
That is so funny.
But they were just more bothered by anything that I was smoking. And his mom was there, too, and she was like, why are you smoking? And then I just remember in my gut being like, oh, my God, like, freaking out, panicking. I was like, please don't tell my parents you saw me like this.
Oh, you thought he was going to blow the whistle on you?
Yeah, for sure. Please don't tell my cousin. Like, so yeah. And then from that moment on in my head, I knew I was like, I have to tell my parents tonight before anyone else tells them.
Ah.
So that one I was like, fuck.
So you were kind of pressured a little bit. You had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you glad that you had the pressure on you to tell us, or?
Well, I'm happy I ended up telling you. Like, I'm just happy it got over with because eventually you have to do it, right? Mm-hmm. But I just, yeah, I'm happy it happened, but it was definitely an anxiety-ridden day.
Right.
That's for sure.
So you remember telling us?
Yeah, so that day I went home, and my friend actually came over, and I came out to her, told her.
Oh.
Which she knew, because, like, there was little moments of me talking about boys and this and that, and little moments, but I'd never actually fully said I'm gay, and I did to her. I was like, I think I'm gay, or maybe bisexual, but I'm gay, 100%. And I told her that I had, like, sucked a dick and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then she told me that she was bisexual, so I felt really inspired by her. And yeah, so then she left and I went upstairs. You guys were on the porch and I came out to you as bisexual. And
how did we react? I can't remember that.
Like in Dad's mind or in your mind, like, oh, he's either it's a phase or he's not actually gay, it's just bisexual, so it's fine. It was just, I think you were just confused and shocked a little bit. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and then I think the more intense feelings came once I started like dressing up very intensely and wearing like more women clothing and
right.
And like the heels and the shoes and the makeup and the hair and extravagant personality slowly coming through.
But I do have to say, I remember, like, and I'll touch on this again, how angry you were. And once you came out and you were out there and you felt comfortable, my God, you were a different person. Mm-hmm. You know? And it was like you were back to kind of being that breath of fresh air again. Mm-hmm. You know? Because you were you. You could finally be you in your own skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. That was pretty heavy.
Yeah, and coming out is very different now, thank God, because I think it's less of like a big thing because I feel like gender and like sexuality is a little bit more fluid now.
Yes,
like,
it is.
I think it's more normalized, especially with the younger generation. A lot of, you have beauty influencers, so boys in makeup, and you have, drag queen or drag race is very... mainstream now.
Yeah, and you see a lot of men with nail polish like it's nothing now.
Yeah, and
which I love that, Yeah. I love that. So.
Yeah, but I just think it's a little bit more socially accepted now than it was back in the day, which is great. And I think coming out, like, yes, coming out is a thing. It's a moment because you're basically like being gay. It's not about who you lie down with at the end of the night. Like it's so much more than that. It's like who you are and who you are at your core and how you express yourself and how you just carry yourself. It's like this huge, it's almost like an ingrained shame. So once you have that off your chest, it's such a relief because you feel like you have like this dark secret until you tell.
Almost feel like you can breathe again.
I mean, sure, that's a little bit like tacky, but yeah, like it's just like, I'm sure if you have a deep dark secret, or like if you've done something wrong, or you like, you hit your mom's car.
But there is nothing wrong with it too, right? Like when you say, oh, there's something wrong, but there is nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, but when you're taught that there's something wrong with being gay, and there's like this ingrained shame in you, then when you're sitting in the room with everyone and they ask you, oh, like, do you have any girlfriends, Mikey, or this or that, it's like uncomfortable because it's like, like,
yeah,
it's the worst. Or like when your grandparents talk about girls, or like, I don't know. It's just like this. It's hard to explain.
And you're thinking in your brain, I'm never going to have a girlfriend, so don't ask me that. But I can't tell you that.
Or it's like, I'm just not being honest with you, or it's just like this elephant in the room that's uncomfortable.
Right.
And I remember you guys would always say, like, no, it's no one's business. No one needs to know. Like, why do you feel the need to, like, tell everyone that? And it's just like, because it's so much more than...
I guess I'll never understand it.
That's like one of my biggest things when hetero people are like, I don't have to walk in a room and tell people I'm straight. I'm just like, oh my God, I hate that conversation so much. Just like...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, why though? Why?
I don't know. It's just like, because it's like you're assumed heterosexual. So like that's why you don't... When you walk in the room, everyone just assumes you're heterosexual, right? So it's just like the normal...
So it's
of the norm. So yeah, you don't have to. It's like it's basically taking your own experience as a heterosexual being comfortable and saying, I don't have to say that. So why do you have to say it? It's like, because it's just a different experience for you.
You're not going to get it because you're not gay.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. Keep your heterosexual mouth shut.
Exactly. That's pretty much what I think most of the time when I talk to straight people.
Shut the fuck up, you hetero.
Oh my God, you know what I want to do? Do you know what? Where is it here? I have it on my computer. It's called the Kinsey Scale.
No, what is it?
Okay, so the Kinsey Scale test is an online test which helps you explore your sexuality. This test is developed on the idea introduced by Alfred Kinsey in 1948 that places human sexual orientation on a heterosexual to homosexual continuum. What's that word? Continuum, yeah. Instead of categorizing people as either heterosexual, homosexual, or bisexual. Oh, yeah. The test is to help you evaluate yourself on Kinsey's sexual rating scale. So basically, I think from like 1 to 10, it tells you how gay you are.
So basically, by the end of this talk, I might be gay. Is that what you're telling me? I might find out I'm gay.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Please read the statements listed below. Answer each item that you believe accurately describes your condition. Condition? Okay. Female. Are you going to take this for you or for me?
Let's do both.
Okay. So female, age, how old are you?
52.
Are you serious?
Hey, it's not so bad.
You're not 52. Are you actually?
I'll be 52 this year.
I didn't even know you were 50. What the hell? Okay. My sexual fantasies are about only the opposite sex, mainly the opposite sex, rarely about the same sex, mainly the opposite sex, sometimes about the same sex, both the same and opposite sex, mainly the same sex, sometimes about the opposite, only the same sex.
That's a lot of questions.
Have you ever had fantasy about a woman?
Absolutely. Both.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, but honestly, because there's different options. So mainly the opposite. So mainly about men, rarely about the same sex. Mainly about the opposite sex, sometimes with the same sex. Or both the same amounts.
Mainly the opposite. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yep.
Okay.
This is honesty at its finest, folks.
The idea of sexual intercourse with someone of the opposite sex is desirable, alluring, interesting, tolerable, negative, disgusting.
Desirable.
Really? Okay. The idea of having sexual intercourse...
Oh, of the same sex.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, let's just go back.
No, we can't, girl.
I can't.
The idea of have sexual intercourse with someone of the same sex is desirable, alluring, interesting. Isn't this what they just asked?
Yeah, that's why I was a little confused. I thought you said the opposite sex before. Go back.
Mom, I'm not going back. Answer the question.
Interesting.
I have had sex with only the opposite. Almost exclusively the opposite? Only ever experimented with the same sex?
Only with
Have you ever kissed or, like, done anything with a girl? Oh my god, you totally have.
I maybe smooched with somebody.
Oh my god, what?
Somebody you know.
Who?
I'm not telling you.
Your face is, like, actually purple.
Is it crimson? Because you know her.
Wait, what? Like, sexually? Or just,
No.
like, friends?
Just friends. Just friends, serious. And it was in a group of people, so.
An orgy?
Is my face purple as that page?
Oh my god. Okay, so almost exclusively then, right? You've only experimented with the same
Yes.
sex and you liked it?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, I identify myself as straight but open to new sexual experiences, bisexual, homosexual but open to new sexual experiences, strictly homosexual, or I don't know.
I'm straight but open to new sexual experiences.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I feel emotionally bonded to only the opposite sex, mainly the opposite sex, and to some extent the same sex.
Yep. I think women are beautiful.
Same. Mm-hmm. But I love the pain.
Not the vagine.
Calculating your result.
You motherfucking gay.
According to your score, you are exclusively heterosexual.
There you go.
That's cool. Should I try mine?
Mm-hmm.
I mainly the same sex, sometimes about the opposite sex. I like threesomes with girls. Like, I like a guy and a girl.
Okay. Thanks for that.
The idea.
I can now get through with my day today, knowing that.
The idea of having sexual intercourse with someone of the opposite sex is interesting, alluring, let's say.
Oh, so it does say opposite. Now it's same.
Desirable for the same sex. I have had sex with, mainly with the same sex, occasionally the opposite sex. Almost exclusively the opposite sex. I identify myself as homosexual but open to new... Sure. I feel emotionally bonded to the opposite sex.
You're not telling everybody your answers
Mainly
here.
the opposite sex. Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of skipping through it. Because we all know I'm gay. Mainly the opposite sex, but I honestly emotionally am more bonded towards women, though.
Absolutely. I get that.
Mm-hmm. Seriously, like, this sounds horrible. Like, I honestly am gay, but I don't like men. Like, I like penis. I don't like...
That's it. You don't like the makings of, like, the mass, like...
No, like, just what men are and, like, just everything about them. I don't know why.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You just like the peen.
Yeah. According to your score, you are predominantly homosexual, but more than incidentally heterosexual.
There's been incidences.
There's been a few.
There's been a few incidences where I fell into bed with a woman.
Oh my god, that is so funny. So yeah, the Kinsey scale. Cool, eh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think sexuality is just a spectrum and it just depends where you fall on it.
Absolutely.
I think, like...
Oh, yeah, I was reading that about the spectrum thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that must be what they're talking about.
Yeah. Like, it's so crazy that, like, everyone is taught to think that there's, like, male and female and that's it.
And that's
like,
it. You can't go out.
Yeah,
You
like,
can't
there's just always,
experiment.
like, two choices. It's so bizarre. It's, like, straight or gay, girl or boy, you know? Like,
right, where there's no variance. Like, there's...
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, variance.
Yeah. Yeah, which is shitty because I think, and I've mentioned this before to you, I think we've talked about this, a lot of women, like you said, you feel emotionally bonded towards women. Mm-hmm. A lot of women, actually, if their marriages fall apart, they tend to actually go lean towards finding love again with a woman.
Yeah.
Some of them, you know, and I know a few women that have done that because emotionally that's what you know, and you want that. You're done with your husband. I left him, we're done.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that anymore. And emotionally you find that bond with another woman. Mm-hmm. You know? And women are a lot softer, I find. Mm-hmm. You know, emotionally.
I feel like it'd be fun to be in a relationship with a girl and a guy.
Oh.
Like a three-way relationship.
Yeah, I think that's Those kind of relationships, though, I think are hard because then the factor of jealousy comes in.
But there's always jealousy in relationships.
You think?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess.
I think so, yeah. Some form of it, at least.
Yeah. I'm not a really jealous person, though, so... Yeah.
Yeah, you always say that, which is I find hilarious to me, but...
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
So, coming out is a crazy thing.
It is, and I'm glad you did it.
You too.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't imagine. Like, I always think about that. Like, what would have happened if I never went to that school, or if I never took the chance and sucked that penis?
Oh, it's all about the penis.
Did I think what?
Do you think that if you carried on just and never changed, didn't go to the school that you went to in the city, do you think that you'd still be hanging out with a girl?
No, I think I was realizing it when I was at that school. Mm-hmm. Because one of my friends to this day, my first, like, technically sexual experience was, like, I remember giving him kind of like a hand job. And that's when I was in grade 9.
Oh. And that wasn't the art school.
No, that wasn't the art school.
All
so
right.
I think it just, like, pulled it out of me.
Oh.
Which I'm happy it did, though. Because,
it did. It brought it to the surface, which is good.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? Are you still gay?
I think so.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay,
Well,
Mommy.
I like that story. I really like that story.
Mm-hmm, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it funny when people are like, so when did you know you were gay? I'm always like, well, if you really want the answer.
We got it now.
Yeah.
We got it.
That's literally how I knew I was gay.
Yeah. Boom.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode of A Gay and His Mom. Coming every single week, we're going to have new topics, new stories, new questions, new experiences, new scenarios, maybe new tests.
Another juicy story.
Yes, every single week you can expect that from us. Tune in if you want to be entertained. Check out our content all over our social media at A Gay and His Mom. We have some YouTube content coming. We have some Instagram. We have some bloopers. We got everything, baby. Stick around.
We got it all.
We got it all. We'll see you guys next week for another podcast of A Gay and His Mom.